From private whispers to public chaos, what was once a picture-perfect family dynasty has now turned into a full-blown media storm. King Harris, the outspoken son of hip-hop legend T.I. and reality star Tiny, is at the center of a scandal that's shaking the Harris empire to its very core. Late-night leaks, mysterious DMs, and secret recordings have surfaced online, exposing shocking truths the family allegedly tried to bury for years. Fans can't believe their eyes as confidential voice notes and behind-the-scenes clips reveal explosive arguments, betrayal, and tension that no one saw coming. Sources close to the Harris household claim that what's being leaked isn't just gossip, it's evidence. Evidence that could destroy the image of one of hip-hop's most respected families. Some fans are calling it a setup, others believe it's revenge from someone inside the family circle. The question everyone's asking is, who's behind the leaks? And what are they really trying to expose? As emotions run high and social media explodes with theories, King Harris finds himself caught between loyalty and self-preservation. Because when your family's secrets go public, there's no turning back. This is the story of King Harris Exposed, the leaks that shook T.I.'s family dynasty. It all started with a single Instagram story that disappeared within minutes, but not before millions of fans took screenshots. A short clip, shaky and dimly lit, showed King Harris pacing around what looked like the family living room. In the background, voices could be heard arguing, one sounding eerily like T.I. himself. The caption under the story read, "They've been lying to y'all for years." Within minutes, the internet exploded. Blogs reposted the clip. Fan pages speculated about what it meant, and the Harris family's name started trending across every platform. King, known for his fiery personality and unfiltered attitude, had always been the wild card of the Harris dynasty. But this time, even his closest supporters sensed something deeper. It wasn't just another outburst or social media stunt. There was pain in his voice, a kind of frustration that felt raw, personal, and real. Rumors began swirling that King was about to expose family secrets. Secrets that could completely shatter the clean-cut image T.I. and Tiny had built over decades. By the next morning, more leaks followed. Audio recordings surfaced on anonymous accounts, with distorted voices that fans claimed were King and Tiny. In one clip, King's voice trembled as he said, "I'm tired of being treated like a mistake." Another voice, calm but stern, replied, "You need to learn respect, boy. We built this name." Fans immediately connected the dots. The conversation sounded like a tense exchange between father and son, one that seemed to hint at years of bottled-up resentment. News outlets picked up the story within hours. Reporters camped outside the family's Atlanta mansion. Paparazzi snapped blurry photos of T.I. looking visibly tense, and Tiny was spotted leaving a studio with her sunglasses hiding tearful eyes. The once glamorous family that ruled reality TV with charm and unity suddenly appeared divided, fragile, and exposed inside sources, most likely friends turned informants, began sharing details that only deepened the chaos. One claimed that King had been secretly recording family conversations for months, compiling what he called receipts, to prove that his public persona wasn't the rebellious son he was painted to be. Another alleged that he felt overshadowed, constantly compared to his father's fame and his mother's success, living in a world where expectations crushed individuality. Fans were torn. Half of them rallied behind King, calling him brave for speaking up. The other half accused him of betrayal, warning that he was destroying the very legacy his parents worked to build. Hashtags like Soccer Stand with King and Saw Protectee started trending simultaneously, turning social media into a digital battlefield. Amid the chaos, King went silent. His Instagram and TikTok accounts were deactivated. His friends claimed they couldn't reach him, and his phone number reportedly stopped working. That silence only made the leaks more believable. If King wasn't denying them, maybe he was the one behind it all. 2 days later, another video dropped. This one longer and clearer. In it, King appeared to be sitting in a recording booth. His face was serious, his tone cold. "They think they can silence me," he said, looking directly into the camera. But people deserve to know the truth. The real truth. He didn't specify what that truth was. but fans noticed a folder icon on his laptop labeled Family Files. It was visible for a split second before the camera cut. That image alone became the center of 1,000 conspiracy threads. Comment sections filled with speculation. Some claimed King was planning to release unreleased footage from the family's reality show that had never made it to air. Others believed he had proof of major feuds behind the scenes, fights, financial cover-ups, and emotional breakdowns that the public never saw. A few even suggested he was being manipulated by outsiders who wanted to profit off the scandal. Meanwhile, T.I. tried to control the narrative. During a podcast appearance, he dismissed the situation as family business, urging people not to believe everything online. But his tone was tense, defensive. "Every family got issues," he said. "Ours just happens to be in the spotlight." His statement did little to calm things down. If anything, it made fans hungrier for more. Behind closed doors, things were reportedly falling apart. Sources close to the family revealed that Tiny and T.I. were arguing over how to handle the growing crisis. Tiny allegedly wanted to reach out to King privately, hoping to mend things before it got worse. T.I., on the other hand, was furious. "He wants to embarrass us? Then let him deal with the consequences," one insider quoted him saying. The family's other children were caught in the crossfire. Zonik, King's older sister, posted a cryptic tweet saying, "Sometimes silence is louder than words." Fans took it as a sign that she knew more than she was letting on. Damani, T.I.'s other son, stayed quiet, but was reportedly devastated. Friends said he felt torn between defending his brother and protecting his father's legacy. As the drama deepened, leaked screenshots began circulating. They appeared to show King messaging a friend about dropping everything on Friday. The messages included vague mentions of audio, proof, and backup copies. The friend's reply, "Are you sure you want to do this?" made the situation feel even more ominous. When Friday came, the internet waited. Nothing happened for most of the day, but just as people started to think it was all over, an anonymous YouTube channel uploaded a 6-minute compilation titled Truth of the Harris House. It contained blurred clips, distorted voices, and one particularly explosive moment where a male voice shouted, "You'll regret this, King." It was enough to send the internet into chaos once again. Fans dissected every second of the video. They compared voices, enhanced audio, and slowed down frames trying to identify who said what. Theories spread that King had edited the video to make his parents look bad, while others insisted it was undeniable evidence of the toxic environment he had been hinting at. By nightfall, the family's reputation was hanging by a thread. Sponsors pulled back, brand deals were paused, and entertainment networks quietly removed reruns of their old reality show. T.I. reportedly called an emergency family meeting demanding to know who leaked what, but according to a close family friend, the confrontation didn't end well. During that meeting, King allegedly stormed out, slamming the door behind him. His last words before leaving the house were, "I won't let you rewrite my life." Those words would become the headline of every gossip outlet the next day. Tiny was said to be heartbroken, telling friends she didn't recognize the boy she raised. "He's angry at the world," she reportedly said through tears. "But he doesn't see how much he's hurting himself too." Meanwhile, T.I. was reportedly livid, calling King's actions a betrayal of blood. Outside their mansion, cameras flashed as neighbors watched the chaos unfold. What was once a family admired for its unity and hustle had turned into a symbol of fame gone wrong. Fans began asking themselves, was this just another publicity stunt? Or was the Harris family really falling apart from the inside? Apart from the inside. And as everyone speculated, one thing became clear. King Harris wasn't done yet. He had more to say, and whatever was coming next would make everything so far look like just the calm before the storm. The following night, Atlanta's skyline glowed with the usual city lights. But inside the Harris mansion, darkness and silence filled every corner. Tiny sat in the living room, her phone buzzing nonstop. News anchors repeated her family's name over and over, each with a new spin on the scandal. She scrolled through headlines that read, "King Harris exposes family secrets and Harris Dynasty in ruins." She sighed deeply, whispering, "How did we get here?" Her voice trembled. Meanwhile, King was nowhere to be found. Friends said he had checked into a downtown hotel using a different name, keeping his location private. But his silence didn't last long. The next morning, a mysterious account posted a link to a live stream scheduled for 8 p.m. The caption simply said, "The truth they never wanted you to hear." Fans instantly suspected it was King. The countdown began, and the entire internet held its breath. T.I. found out hours later when his phone buzzed with notifications. He slammed it on the table and muttered under his breath, "He's really doing this." Tiny, worried but calm, placed her hand on his shoulder and said softly, "Maybe if we just talk to him." But he cut her off. "Nah, he crossed a line." His tone was sharp, and for the first time, even Tiny couldn't find the words to calm him down. As the day went on, everyone waited for the live stream. Rumors spread that King had collaborated with a documentary channel to release a tell-all. Others claimed he was just bluffing. By 7:59 p.m., over 500,000 people were refreshing the link. When the screen finally went live, King appeared sitting in a dimly lit room. His face was expressionless, his eyes tired but steady. "You all think you know what it's like being part of a perfect family," he began slowly. "You see the cars, the fame, the show, but what you don't see are the arguments, the pressure, the things that happen when the cameras are off." He paused for a moment, then played a short clip from his phone. It was a voice recording of T.I. yelling, "You better remember who made you who you are." Gasps filled the comment section. The comments flooded in faster than the stream could handle. "That's what I lived with," King said. "Every day being told who to be, what to say, and how to act. They call it family guidance. I call it control." His words hit hard. Fans who had once admired the family now started questioning everything. Back at home, T.I. and Tiny were watching in shock. Tiny covered her mouth in disbelief while T.I. clenched his fists. "He's twisting things," T.I. said under his breath. Tiny tried to call their son, but his number went straight to voicemail. Tears streamed down her face as she whispered, "He's hurting, Tip. Can't you see that?" But T.I. just stared at the screen, silent and furious. As the stream continued, King shared more voice clips, some minor, some explosive. One included a conversation where Tiny could be heard crying and saying, "We can't keep pretending we're okay." Another clip seemed to show a fight about money, where T.I. accused someone of leaking family business to outsiders. Fans were divided once again. Some said King was exposing emotional abuse. Others argued he was destroying his family for clout. The internet turned into chaos overnight. Countless reaction videos appeared. Influencers gave their takes, and hashtags like Chuck King v's family and Chachi Harris leaks topped the charts. Even other celebrities weighed in. One rapper tweeted, "Never air your family out online. Fame ain't worth that." Another wrote, "Sometimes truth gotta hurt before it heals." The next morning, news outlets confirmed that T.I. had canceled several appearances. Tiny was seen leaving her home with a suitcase, reportedly heading to stay with her mother. Meanwhile, King's livestream had reached over 8 million views. Blogs started referring to him as the whistleblower of hip-hop's royal family. But behind the viral fame, King wasn't celebrating. Sources close to him said he was struggling emotionally, haunted by guilt. He thought people would understand, one friend said. But instead, he feels more alone than ever. Then came another twist. An anonymous hacker account posted new leaks. This time, private emails and text messages allegedly between T.I. and his management team. The messages discussed damage control and legal options to silence King. The account claimed they hacked it to protect the truth. Fans immediately questioned whether King was behind it or if someone else had joined in to stir the chaos. T broke his silence the next day with a short video. Wearing sunglasses and a serious expression, he said, "This family got problems, but one thing we don't do is turn on each other. What y'all seeing online is not the full story." He didn't mention King by name, but everyone knew who he meant. Tiny, however, took a different approach. She posted a photo of her and King from years ago, with the caption, "No matter how far you go, I'll always love you." The post melted hearts online. and fans flooded the comments urging King to make peace. But peace was the last thing on King's mind. Late that night, he posted another story, a simple black background with the words, "Don't fall for the sympathy act. You'll see everything soon." That single sentence sent fans spiraling again. What more could he possibly have? 3 days later, a YouTube teaser appeared titled The Dynasty Files. The thumbnail showed blurred images of T.I., Tiny, and their kids with dramatic text that read, "Nothing stays buried forever." Speculation went wild. Some believed King was about to release a full documentary. Others said it was fake. But when a countdown appeared on the video, everyone knew it was real. As the release time approached, media outlets called it the most anticipated celebrity expose of the year. Fans prepared popcorn, gossip blogs set up live watch parties, and even mainstream TV networks mentioned it. By 9 p.m., millions were waiting. The video started with grainy clips of the Harris family's old reality show, overlaid with King's voice saying, "What you saw wasn't real. This is." The screen then flashed to hidden camera footage. It showed a tense family dinner where voices rose, chairs scraped, and emotions boiled over. In one scene, King could be seen arguing with his father. "You don't listen," he shouted. T.I. responded, "You don't respect." Tiny tried to intervene, saying, "Please, both of you stop," but neither backed down. The scene ended with King storming out of the room. Fans couldn't believe it. Many felt they were witnessing something they were never meant to see. The rawness, the shouting, the tears. It was unlike anything on their polished reality show. As the video ended, King looked into the camera and said quietly, "Now you know why I walked away." By the next morning, the internet was split down the middle. Half called him courageous. The other half called him a traitor. But regardless of opinions, one thing was undeniable. King Harris had changed the game. The Harris family, once untouchable, now stood exposed. And yet, as wild as the situation had become, no one knew the biggest twist was still to come. Something far deeper. Something that would make every previous leak look like child's play. And it was coming sooner than anyone expected. The morning after the Dynasty files dropped, Atlanta was buzzing like never before. Every radio station, podcast, and gossip blog dissected the footage frame by frame. Fans debated endlessly over who was right and who was wrong. Outside the Harris mansion, news vans crowded the street, reporters calling out questions that no one inside dared to answer. T.I. hadn't left the house in days. Tiny had gone completely silent online. But King was nowhere to be found. For 48 hours, no one heard a word from him. No posts, no sightings, no leaks. People started to worry that he had gone too far and disappeared to avoid the fallout. Some fans even theorized that T.I. had sent people to track him down and force him offline. Then, late Sunday night, a short video appeared on a burner account. Just 3 words on a black screen. "You missed something." The internet went crazy trying to figure out what that meant. Countless creators replayed the Dynasty files, convinced there was a hidden message somewhere. One eagle-eyed viewer claimed they spotted a reflection in a mirror showing a flash drive on a table labeled Truth Part 2. Others noticed faint background audio that sounded like T.I. saying, "They'll never find out about that." That one sentence became the center of every theory thread online. What secret was still buried? What secret was still buried? Meanwhile, T.I. was in damage control mode. He called an emergency meeting with his lawyers, publicists, and record label team. One of them reportedly told him, "If there's more coming, we have to get ahead of it now." But T.I. refused to show fear. "My son might think he's exposing me," he said in a low voice. "But he doesn't know everything I've kept quiet for his own good." Tiny sat quietly in the corner, her eyes swollen from crying. When the meeting ended, she turned to her husband and whispered, "Maybe we should stop fighting him and just listen." T.I. shook his head. "He's trying to destroy everything we built. I can't let that happen." Later that night, Tiny called Zonique. Their conversation, which a source close to the family later leaked to a blog, painted a heartbreaking picture. Tiny said, "He's just a boy trying to be heard." Zonique replied softly, "Yeah, but the world's listening too loud now." The next day, King broke his silence again. He went live on a new account, his face calm but tired. "You all saw the first part," he said. "But what you didn't see was what happened after." His voice cracked slightly before he continued. "This was never about clout. This was about truth. But if they want to play games, I'll show them what real exposure looks like." He held up the flash drive, the same one fans had spotted in the reflection. "This," he said, "is everything." And just like that, he ended the live, leaving everyone desperate for what came next. Within hours, T.I.'s legal team released a statement threatening legal action against anyone who published or shared private material. Fans, however, weren't intimidated. Some even began fundraising to protect King from industry threats. His supporters claimed he was fighting against a system built to silence him. His critics said he had lost all sense of loyalty. 2 nights later, at exactly midnight, a new upload appeared titled The Dynasty Files, Part 2. It began with a voiceover of King saying, "Every lie has a receipt." Then, shocking audio played, a phone call between 2 male voices. One sounded like T.I., the other like a producer. In the clip, they discussed cutting King's scenes from a show episode because he was too unpredictable. "He doesn't fit the family image," the voice allegedly belonging to the producer said. "Yeah, we can't have him ruining the brand," T.I. replied. Fans went wild. Comments flooded in, calling it proof that King had been silenced for years. Others accused him of editing the audio to twist the narrative. Still, the clip spread like wildfire. Within an hour, it was everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, news sites, even radio shows. But the video didn't stop there. It showed behind-the-scenes footage of T.I. arguing with someone off camera, saying, "You think fame's a joke? You better earn your spot in this family." King's voice could be heard faintly in the background, muttering, "I didn't ask for this." The emotional weight of the footage hit fans hard. The internet was torn between sympathy and disbelief. Some said it was finally exposing the dark side of celebrity parenting. Others said it was a betrayal of privacy beyond forgiveness. Behind the scenes, chaos reigned. T.I. was furious. In a leaked phone call, allegedly between him and a friend, he said, "He's trying to paint me as a monster. I can't let my own son ruin me." Tiny tried to calm him, begging him to meet King in person. "You don't win this with threats, Tip," she said quietly. "You win this by being a father." But before any reconciliation could happen, yet another leak hit the internet. This time from an anonymous insider claiming to have worked with the family's TV production team. They released unseen footage from years ago showing a tearful moment between King and Tiny. In it, King, just a teenager, said, "I wish I could just be me." Tiny hugged him and replied, "You are, baby." The clip resurfaced like an emotional bomb, flipping the public's opinion once again. Fans flooded Tiny's page with messages of support, telling her she was the heart of the family. Others demanded T.I. publicly apologize to King. Still, T.I. stayed silent. Then came the most unexpected twist of all. A new account under the name Truth Handler began posting mysterious teasers. One video showed blurred court documents and a voice saying, "It's bigger than a family feud now." The captions hinted that financial irregularities, secret deals, and contracts might be part of the drama. Fans began to wonder if King had stumbled upon something deeper, something involving money, business, or reputation. Rumors spread that King wasn't working alone anymore. One journalist claimed he had teamed up with a former assistant who knew everything about how the dynasty was run. Others said an ex-producer was feeding him inside information. The family was falling apart in real time, and everyone could see it. King's siblings stopped posting altogether. Their pages filled with old comments asking, "Are you okay?" Tiny reportedly tried to organize a private sit-down with everyone involved, but King refused. "I'm not walking into a trap," he allegedly texted a close friend. "I've got too much to lose." That friend, speaking anonymously, told a blogger, "He's scared, man. He thought telling the truth would make things better, but it's only made it worse. Now he's stuck between being right and being safe." As the world watched, King's next move became the most anticipated moment online. Would he release more evidence? Would T.I. finally respond directly? Or would someone from inside the family betray him to save themselves? By the week's end, one last mysterious post appeared from King's account. It read, "I told y'all this wasn't just about me." Part 3 is the one they really don't want you to see. And as those words spread like wildfire, the world realized that whatever came next might not just destroy the Harris family's image, it might change how everyone viewed them forever. The internet was on fire. Everyone waited for Part 3, the final piece of King's saga, which he'd promised would expose everything. The Harris name was now more than just trending. It had become the center of a global conversation about fame, family, and betrayal. Some called it a generational curse, others a cautionary tale, but no one could deny one thing. King Harris had turned his family's dynasty into the most talked-about scandal of the decade. The countdown to his next video release became an event in itself. Gossip pages set timers, fans shared theories, and even celebrities admitted they were waiting to see how this ends. The anticipation built for days, until finally, the upload appeared. The Dynasty Files. The Final Truth. The thumbnail showed King standing in front of a blurred image of his family home, his face half in shadow. The video opened differently this time. No dramatic music, no quick cuts, just King sitting alone in silence. His voice, calm but heavy, broke the stillness. "When I started this," he said softly, "I thought I was fighting for my truth. But the deeper I went, the more I realized, the truth hurts everyone." He paused for a moment, eyes distant, before adding, "This isn't about revenge anymore. It's about freedom." He then played a clip that no one expected. It was a private conversation between him and Tiny recorded months earlier. In it, Tiny said, "Baby, your dad loves you, but he don't know how to show it right now. Everything he does, he thinks he's protecting you." King's voice replied, quieter. "Protecting me from what?" Tiny hesitated, then said, "From himself." The internet froze. The raw emotion in her voice cut through all the noise and speculation. Fans who had been ready for another explosion instead found themselves quiet, reflecting. But then King leaned forward and said, "There's one more thing y'all need to hear." He played another recording, this one between T.I. and a close associate. "I messed up, man," T.I. said in the clip. "I pushed him too hard. I wanted him to be great, not broken." For the first time since the scandal began, fans saw T.I. not as the angry father or the celebrity defending his image, but as a man filled with regret. It was a moment of vulnerability that no one expected. King exhaled deeply. "I wasn't supposed to have that recording," he said. "But hearing it made me realize something. Maybe we're all just trying to survive each other." He went quiet for a few seconds before saying, "This family ain't perfect. But at least now, the world knows we're real." As the video ended, King looked into the camera one last time. "Whatever happens next, I'm done fighting. I just want peace." The screen faded to black. The screen faded to black. Within minutes, social media exploded again. But this time, the tone had shifted. Instead of mockery and chaos, there was empathy. Comments poured in from fans, parents, and even other celebrities expressing support. One wrote, "This wasn't exposure. It was healing in real time." Another said, "He didn't break the dynasty. He made it human." News outlets called it the emotional twist no one saw coming. Some believed King had ended the feud gracefully, while others thought it was a carefully planned redemption arc. Whatever it was, it worked. The video broke records, surpassing 20 million views in less than 24 hours. The next morning, T.I. finally responded publicly. In a heartfelt Instagram video, he said, "Sometimes as a father, your love gets lost in your lessons. I ain't perfect, but I love my son more than life itself." His voice cracked slightly as he continued. "We said things we shouldn't have, both of us. But if this is what it took for us to hear each other, then maybe it was meant to happen." Tiny joined him midway through the video, holding his hand. She said softly, "Families fight, families hurt, but families heal too. And that's what we're gonna do." Her words struck a chord with everyone watching. Comments flooded in from fans writing, "This is what real growth looks like." And they're proving that even broken families can come back together. King stayed quiet for a few days, not posting or appearing anywhere. Fans speculated he was taking time off, maybe even reconciling privately with his parents. Then, out of nowhere, he posted a black and white photo of himself and T.I. sitting on a park bench, both looking tired but smiling faintly. The caption read simply, "We talked." That single image broke the internet again, but this time in the best way possible. Thousands of comments poured in, celebrating the moment. "This is bigger than music," one user wrote. "This is about forgiveness," another added. "He started a war but ended it with peace." Reportedly, the family later met in private for a long conversation that lasted into the early hours of the morning. No cameras, no phones, just them. People close to the family said there were tears, apologies, and hugs that had been years overdue. One insider claimed T.I. told King, "You ain't my enemy, you my legacy." King allegedly responded, "Then let's start over." In the weeks that followed, the Harris family slowly began to rebuild their public image. Tiny returned to social media with warm, family-oriented posts. T.I. teased a new song that fans speculated was dedicated to King, filled with lyrics about lessons, pain, and redemption. And King himself began uploading new music, raw, emotional tracks that spoke of truth and forgiveness. But even as peace seemed to settle, the story continued to echo through the entertainment world. Podcasts analyzed the family's journey, calling it a mirror of fame's cost. Fans debated whether the whole saga was accidental truth or a planned narrative of rebirth. Either way, it changed how people viewed the Harris dynasty forever. For King, it was more than just a viral moment. It was a transformation. He'd gone from being labeled the reckless son to a voice of honesty and emotion. Interviews began to shift tone, describing him as the prince who challenged the throne to rebuild it stronger. In one of his later posts, King wrote, "Maybe sometimes you gotta break the house to rebuild the home." The post went viral instantly, becoming a quote used across thousands of tweets, captions, and even t-shirts. As weeks passed, the noise began to fade. Fans moved on to new scandals, new dramas, new headlines. But the Harris family's story lingered, not as gossip, but as a lesson. They had gone from unity to destruction and back to understanding. And though the wounds would take time to heal, they had done something rare in the public eye. They had faced their truth and survived it. King's final message to his followers came in a quiet live stream weeks later. Sitting outside under the night sky, he smiled faintly and said, "Y'all wanted the real story, and I gave it. Not for views, not for fame, but for peace. If there's one thing I learned, it's that the truth don't destroy families. It just shows who's willing to fix what's broken." And with that, he ended the stream, leaving millions of viewers speechless, emotional, and inspired. For the first time in months, there were no leaks, no drama, no chaos, just silence, and maybe, just maybe, a chance for the Harris dynasty to rise again, not as a brand, but as a family that had finally found its way back to each other. And just like that, the storm finally settled. Or did it? Because even though the Harris family seems to have found peace, fans can't stop wondering, was everything truly resolved behind closed doors? Or are there still secrets waiting to come out? Some say King's silence is just the calm before another revelation. Others believe he's finally ready to move forward and rebuild what was lost. Either way, this story has changed everything. What started as a few leaked clips ended up becoming one of the most emotional and shocking family dramas the internet has ever seen. It showed us the raw, messy truth behind fame, the pressure, the pride, the pain, and the fight to stay real when the world's watching every move. And whether you stand with King, T.I., or Tiny, one thing's for sure, this dynasty may have been shaken, but it's far from over. So now it's your turn. What do you think? Was King right to expose the truth? Or did he take things too far? Do you believe the family's peace will last? Or is another chapter just waiting to unfold? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. If you made it this far, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next big celebrity story. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.